your girl, Krissy from Events by Krissy, and this is Ask Me Anything. Send us your questions on Instagram or Facebook at EventsByKrissyGTA, or you can email them to us at eventsbykrissygta@gmail.com, and we'll get right to it. Last week, we discussed staying on budget. Today, it's trimming the guest list. I told my parents they can invite 8 guests. Somehow it's turned into 20. How do I get them to stop? It's a question that we very commonly get asked, as well as how do I uninvite people that I've already invited? And honestly, it is a tough one. If you know that your relatives, mainly your parents, are going to invite quite a bit of people, don't give them a limit of 8. Tell them then they could invite 4, and then perhaps they'll bring 10, which is still a little bit over what you've initially wanted of 8, but it's much more reasonable than 20. You can also ask them to pay for each guest that they invite. If they're already paying for the wedding, not a huge deal, but if they're not, then they will have to compensate you for some. However, we're going to give you some people today that you should not be inviting to your wedding, and I mean never. So the first set of people that we're going to recommend you do not invite to your wedding is your ex. I know sometimes you may be friends with them, you may have run into them on the street and they saw you on socials and asked when the wedding was, but put that in reverse and hit them again. Do not, I don't care how cool you are with this person, do not invite your ex to your wedding. It's unnecessary and extremely awkward. So just avoid that for you and both your spouse and everyone else there. Do not invite them. The next person that we're going to say do not invite, and this one may hurt you a little bit, but that is your fall down drunk friend, uncle, brother, cousin, aunt. Do not invite them. They are your blackout buddy. They might be hilarious. They might bring the party, but you don't want that kind of embarrassment for yourself. And you don't want that to be a memory of your big day. So let's not invite them to your big day, maybe even not even to your engagement party, if you know that they are going to be a little bit out of control. Next person to not invite is your therapist. Yeah, they're cool with you, but come on now. What are you going to talk about in your next session if you invite them today? Don't invite your therapist. Not a good idea. And if, let's say, by chance they do get intoxicated, they know way too much about you for, all of this. You don't want them to know who Aunt Edna is or who Uncle Phil is. You don't want that. So let's avoid that completely. The next person that we're going to say you're not going to invite is your frenemy. And I mean, that should be a given. Your fake friends. Keep them at bay because they're only going to try and make things terrible for you. They may try and rip your veil, which I have heard stories of. They may try to damage your dress, spill drinks on you. Avoid them completely. They will try to make the day about them. You do not want that. You do not need that. So we're going to toss the frenemy to the side and not invite them at all. Do not invite your mailman, the post office clerk, your UPS delivery, your Amazon guy. Yes, you see them on the regular. You talk to them. They may ask you how you're doing, how the family's doing. They don't need to be there. You don't need to spend $150 on a plate for them. Don't bother. Send them a postcard, if anything. You know where they are. Your acquaintance, your casual acquaintance, don't invite them. If you only talk to them once or twice a year to say happy birthday, happy holidays, don't invite them to your wedding. My general rule of thumb is if they live in the same city or town as you and you have not invited them out for coffee, tea, a movie, a dinner, a breakfast within a 12 to 18 month period, don't invite them. And the same applies for relatives. Unless they are living out of country, they don't need to attend. If you have not seen them in 12 to 18 months and they're in your town, in your city, don't invite them. There's a huge difference between being friends and friendly. Like, do you know their middle name? Don't invite them. Do not invite them. If you're into business, don't invite your clients. Nobody wants to be working on their wedding day. They may ask you a question. Very rare, very unlikely that they will, but they may at some point in time be like, oh, by the way, are you going to be able to give this to me on Monday? No, don't invite them. You want to be happy, you want to keep them happy, you can, if you really want to, invite them to your engagement party or your bridal shower, as those are a little bit more appropriate, but leave them out of your wedding day. And I think that is it. I think that was how much people? 6 people, 7 people that I said not to invite. If there's anyone else that you think you would not invite or wouldn't want there, drop them in the comments below. Let us know who you think should and should not be at your big day.